Well, we packed all the action into about the last minute and a half of the first half of play. Jake Plummer with the bomb to Rod Smith that went 85 yards for a touchdown. That put Denver on top 10-0. And then Kerry Collins came right back to Jerry Porter and hit him with a big touchdown pass to cut the lead to 10-7. If you only saw that, you saw virtually all of the big plays in the first half. Welcome back to snowy Denver, everybody. It is extremely cold, unhospitable conditions, but it's been an outstanding football game, hasn't it?
Yeah, you know, these guys, when they're down there on the field, and it seems kind of stupid to say it, but they really don't feel it. When they're moving around, they're hitting people, they're not thinking about weather or anything else. They're worried about that guy in front of me.
Sure, Paulie. No, I agree. I do agree. And you know what? In the second half, the Raiders now have a chance to do something. They wanted to beat San Diego and Denver. They know their season's going to end at the end of the year, but they wanted to be able to put some hurting on them. Like San Diego got away. They feel like Denver can be a possibility now. Again, field position is going to be so critical in this half.
Janikowski, a line drive kick that will go out of the end zone. Rock Alexander can't get to it, and they'll start from the 20. Jake Plummer takes the field for the first time here in the third quarter. Threw the ball very, very well.
Outside the pocket in particular. Completed 3 balls just when he's scrambling around for 111 yards in that first half. One of them being a big 85-yard bomb to Rod Smith.
An 8 out of 10 overall. Reuben Droughns, as they try to establish the ground game again. He'll get 1 and no more.
I was talking about Jake Plummer and the job he did out of the pocket, moving around. You see him slide around. This is one of the toughest throws you can make as a quarterback. Sliding out to the left to hit Darius Watts. Then he hits the tight end across the middle. Little play action fake. Now a little pump. This was late in the half when he lays it out to Rod Smith. Again, talking about Jake Plummer. 3 for 3 outside the pocket. That's where he puts so much pressure on the defense.
2 tight ends and Haight goes in motion. And now here's Reuben Droughns. Running over people, picks up 12 for the first down. He just crushed Charles Woods in the corner at the end of that run.
Now, Charles Woodson gets up and moves his fist like I brought him down. Well, yeah, you did in a way. Reuben Droughns, watch this, folks. Bam! I mean, he hits Charles Woodson. Charles stayed with him. Number 24 is Charles Woodson coming in right here. He hits him right in the midsection, but Droughns still gets 3 more yards after the hit.
Again, that offensive line does so well, and you have to include the tight ends of Dwayne Carswell and Patrick Haight when you talk about this offensive line, the way they block.
Reuben Droughns at least 110 yards. Loose ball. Raiders say they have it, and they do.
Oh, what a shot by Marquez Anderson. He comes up and just levels Reuben Droughns. The big hit.
The strong safety knocks it loose, and the Raiders have the football.
Oh, stops him dead in his tracks.
What a shot. And then Woodson made the recovery. Big break for the Raiders, and the second fumble of the night for the Denver Broncos.
Well, we've seen some big hits. Al Wilson on Tyrone Wheatley. Now this one, Marquez Anderson on Reuben Droughns. A second time Droughns has put the ball on the ground.
Now, if there's any question about the dislike for these two teams, for each other, there's been some hitting in this ball game that proves that they really do hate each other.
The Raiders had only 8 turnovers all year long. They have 2 tonight, both on fumble recoveries, and now the Broncos will have to burn a timeout on defense.
I want to show you.
No, check it. There was a ball on the field.
Well, Charles Woodson picked up the ball, ran into the end zone, and didn't bring it back. He left it down there. So they had to go get it.
Collins. Quick pass gets it to Gabriel, and Doug Gabriel is inside the 15-yard line.
Kerry Collins completed that one, but I want to show you what he did on pass track. Watch the throw that he makes. That's Champ Bailey on the right. Jerry Porter's the receiver. Jerry Porter's highlighted. That's John Lynch on the inside. Watch the angle. He throws it up and over the other shoulder. Look at the arc he has. 46 yards the distance, 23 yards, and 28. What's so impressive about that is he let the ball go at 23 yards, and the perfect trajectory of the ball dropping down into Porter's hands, allowing him to make the play.
Collins, line drive throw, Porter, touchdown. And just like that, the Raiders have the lead.
Champ Bailey again. You know what? You know, a lot of people stay away from Champ Bailey. He had 3 interceptions going into this game, and that tied the whole team. But take a look at this throw. That ball was perfect. Here goes Porter to the inside. Look at his body. His body shields it away from Champ Bailey, where Champ doesn't have a chance. The only thing he could have done was knock it down.
And you saw him come off the line of scrimmage and just give a slight move to the outside to keep Champ outside.
Boy, he used that 6'2", 220-pound frame to shield the defender, and the extra point is no good. How big is that?
Monsanto Pope manages to get his big mitt on it. Number 75 manages to reach up and swat it away.
Congratulations! You've launched the pink slip virus. Your office is now infected. They'll soon trace it back to you. Good luck finding a new job. Congratulations!
Want to get away? Just go to Southwest.com for Southwest Airlines $39 to $149 internet specials to 59 destinations nationwide.
You are now free to move about the country.
What if you could feel this relaxed about your financial future? Even with 3 kids in college. Even with retirement fast approaching. There's someone who can help you feel this way. Someone who's developed more financial plans than anyone else. The personal financial advisors of American Express.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. LeBron James at NikeBasketball.com, the personal financial advisors of American Express. And Miller, there's good enough and there's better than it has to be. Miller, good call.
It's the Denver Mint. If you take a tour, you do not get free samples.
Oh, really?
No.
When did they start that?
Forever.
Oh, okay. Champ Bailey shaking his head, trying to figure out what happened in the last couple plays.
Rock Alexander driven into the end zone. He will bring it out.
Part of this game tonight was going to be Champ Bailey against Jerry Porter. In the early going, Champ Bailey had it his way. See him staying right in Porter's pocket. Wherever Jerry Porter went, he wanted to mirror him. And then all of a sudden, it's changed. Right at the end of the half, Jerry Porter with a great over-the-head catch. And now for the touchdown. Gets Champ outside, breaks it hard. Kerry Collins delivers the ball in a perfect spot.
You know what, Jerry Porter, we have a penalty on the kickoff return, but Jerry Porter had only caught 3 balls tonight. 2 of them for touchdown. And before that, Champ, the one he did catch coming across the field, Champ Bailey let him go across the field. So he wasn't covering him then. But, you know, when you say, well, everybody stays away from Champ Bailey, Not if you want to win.
But I also talked about the field conditions change that, because Champ is a great athlete with great closing speed and quickness. But now all of a sudden you get on turf like this and snow like this, and he can't break on it as quick because the footing is not as sure. It's the great equalizer.
And Porter is a very talented wide receiver. And big to boot. Denver forced back to its 10, 1st and 10. Plummer with time. This one's knocked away. Buchanan diving, got a hand on it, and the veteran they picked up from Atlanta in his 12th year made that play.
You know, one guy we haven't talked about on this Denver offense is Ashley Lilly. And that's number 85. And here's a guy that's got to get himself in the game. Take a look at this play here by Buchanan. I mean, that's in front of the ball carrier. I don't know that ball was going to be on target anyway.
Well, and that's the responsibility of the coaches to get Ashley Lilly involved. I think Denver wants to. I don't think Oakland's letting them.
Nothing there. Maybe a yard.
They faked an end around to Ashley Lilly on that last play. And usually when they do something like that, they're setting up something for later on.
John Perella made that last tackle.
And the reason why he's able to do it is Ted Washington, number 92, right in the big Ted Washington. You can't miss him. He just slides, and two people have to block him, and then it allows other guys to make plays like Perella and Tyler Brayton, Sam Williams. All those guys getting a chance to make plays.
3rd and 9. The Broncos. Here comes the blitz. Smith double team, got a fingertip on it, that's all. Now there's a flag down. Charles Woodson protesting, but there is a marker down.
Now it may, I mean, it could go against Denver.
Smith, the veteran.
Illegal contact. Defense number 24. 5-yard penalty. Automatic.
Boy, I tell you, this is such a tough penalty now. Here's Charles Woodson here. The illegal contact. He stuck his arm out, but they actually both put their arms out. Look at here. Here's Charles Woodson. No. That's illegal contact.
That's grabbing.
That is. That's an excellent call. That's an excellent call.
It's officially grabbing the arm.
Actually, it could have been pass interference, because you take a look.
Paul, I was just going to say it easily could have been interference in a 40-yard penalty instead of a 5-yard penalty.
I don't think it was illegal contact. I believe it was pass interference, which would have been a much bigger gain for the Denver Broncos.
Well, the difference is once the ball is in the air, it's supposed to be called interference. Obviously, that ball was in the air when there was contact made, but a lot of times it's called that way. And it's a break for Denver one way or another because it's a first down. Drones, running room this time. He'll pick up about 8. Check in with Susie.
Mike, this game was all defense until late in the first half when Jake Plummer unloaded 85 yards to the veteran Rod Smith, the longest touchdown of his 10-year career, and Jake was on fire. But the Raiders answered. Kerry Collins to Jerry Porter, the most veteran of the Raiders receiving corps. Touchdowns number 2 and 3 on the season for Porter. And oh, by the way, he beat Champ Bailey. 13-10 Raiders.
And Susie, they have been very impressive coming back after they got down 10-0.
Oh, we were talking about getting Warren Sapp at tackle when he's out of position on the defensive end part of the field.
Not that time.
No. He came down the line of scrimmage and just made an outstanding play.
Well, along with Derek Brooks, he has the longest current streak of any defensive player, selected to 7 straight Pro Bowls.
Probably is going to end this year, but what a run he had.
3rd and a yard. Plummer. Carr Carswell can't hang on to it. The defense by Napoleon Harris, who got a hand stuck in there.
And Jake just hung that one up in the air.
Well, he had to. He had to get it over the defender when he came to the outside. You see, on the outside, Bobby Hamilton, number 98, was in his face. So Jake had to float the ball over. Carswell had a chance, but you can't wait on the ball either. You got to go get it.
He also throws it back behind him a little bit.
He wanted to throw that ball to Reuben Droughns, but Droughns went out and appeared to fall down on the slippery conditions. Micah Knorr will punt it away. Buchanan is all the way back to his 35. Short kick, he says, let it go, and it's touched by the Broncos up past the 40. Only a 27-yard kick, and great field position again for the Oakland Raiders.
How do you keep a house with 11 NFL athletes looking good? You put the guys in NFL team apparel.
She has a secret. He has a secret. They all have a secret. Now we're blowing the lid off the best body-shaping, calorie-burning secret weapon in America with the million-selling Gazelle. And this once-in-a-lifetime special offer. You can burn total body calories, tone total body muscle with virtually no impact. Last year, Tony Little made TV history by offering the Gazelle's $14.95 30-day test drive. Call now, and for just $14.95, test drive the Gazelle in your own home, not for 30 days, but for a full 60 days. But wait, this deal just got even better. Take advantage of this TV offer, and shipping is free. Save almost $35 and get the Gazelle risk-free in your home for a full 60 days. Call now, and your Elite will come with this Power Pistons Resistance Package that adjusts easily for beginners, intermediate, and advanced. Over 1 million happy customers can't be wrong. Once you try the Gazelle, you'll be just as crazy about it as they are. Don't miss out. Discover the secret to getting in shape with the Gazelle Elite. Call and get yours right now.
With NFL Sunday Ticket from DirecTV, you can go everywhere the action is.
Play with that! Come on, 2 out of 3. Simon says arms out. Good. Nachos.
From stadium to stadium, all around the league.
Got it.
Don't miss the exciting chase for the playoffs. Order NFL Sunday Ticket now and save $50 only from DirecTV.
Good night for the veteran Kerry Collins, who has labored with Carolina, the New York Giants, and now the Oakland Raiders, getting the chance to play because Rich Gannon was hurt. And Collins, who came in with only 7 touchdowns and 12 interceptions, has had 2 big scoring strikes tonight. Justin Fargas will get the carry, hit in the backfield, and Fargas will lose a couple. You know, people think just because Kerry Collins is a 10-year veteran, he can go from team to team and just pick up as if nothing had happened. But he was faced with a tremendously different learning curve here in Oakland. The system was different. And, Joe, you know as well as anybody, when you get as few reps as he had behind Rich Gannon, he really never had a chance to learn this system.
Plus, when you're a veteran, you have a lot of baggage in your brain that you have to reprocess when a new system is instituted.
And he told us the other night he is really just getting comfortable with it. Terminology is different. He's not going to be comfortable with that. Reggie Hayward. Now 5.5 sacks on the year as he got him from behind.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was no place to throw the football. Kerry Collins did what he had to do, and that was eat this football. If you take a look at Kerry Collins, he's looking downfield. There was really nobody to throw the ball to, and that was just great defense.
He goes right around Roland Williams, the tight end, trying to block him, and has it. That's the 3rd straight game that Reggie Hayward has stepped up and had a sack in. Also had an interception last week.
3rd and 17 now. And be very conservative and give it off to J.R. Redmond, and he is buried. Ellis Johnson led the defensive charge, and they'll have to kick it away.
Mike, this is one of those deals where coaches tell us all the time, there's nothing wrong with punting the ball away. The way that the Raiders defense are playing, they're playing tonight, go ahead. Put them deep in their territory. You've got the best punter in the league kicking the ball right now.
Plus, you're playing the field position game.
And the Raiders have had the advantage in that department for much of this night. There's Rod Smith 6th in the NFL in punt returns, averaging nearly 12 yards a kick. Leckler drives him toward the near side, inside the 5, and it almost tipped outside. Was it? No. Touchback.
Oh, that was close.
Just. David Terrell, the first man down, nearly saved it. Look how close that is.
Special delivery, ladies.
Well, look who's here.
Got your fresh beer right here.
What do you got?
I got intentional taste mask. All American brewed beers are fresh. This guy's hiding something.
Illegal use of the hand truck. Distributing beer with less taste. Place it with Miller Lite.
More taste.
Half the carbs.
You can't flag the king.
Right.
Okay, we got multiple penalties on Dan. Intentional
Miller.
face mask.
Good call.
Illegal use of the hand truck.
Everything I wish I didn't know, but you give me something I can
It's not your job.
It's not your accent.
Not your clothes.
It's not your car.
It's not your lipstick.
It's not your
Friends. It's not your shoes.
It's not your laugh.
It's not your hair.
It's your watch.
You can tell more about a person by the watch they wear than anything else. Seiko Kinetic, powered by the movement of your body.
Available at Zales.
Sorry.
Tuesday night, ESPN's coverage of the ACC Big Ten Challenge continues with the doubleheader at 7 Eastern. Deion Harris leads Michigan against B.J. Elder, number 3 Georgia Tech. Then at 9 Eastern, Paul Davis, 9th-ranked Michigan State against J.J. Redick and number 10 Duke. Well, I can't wait to do hoops.
We don't want you to leave yet.
Well, I won't leave, but I can't wait to do hoops.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you a couple things. This Raider defense is playing inspired. After that touchdown pass, they came back, and they just aren't giving any breathing room to this Denver Bronco running game. I think the ball's got us. I think the success for the Denver Broncos is going to have to fall on the shoulders of Jake Plummer.
How many times do we hear defenses say, and head coaches, what do you have to do to win the ball game? Well, we have to stop the run, and we have to be able to run the ball. When you're talking about the Denver Broncos and any other team, you want to make them one-dimensional. And what they have done in this second half has made them one-dimensional.
Bobby Hamilton, number 98, who came over from New England, has made a couple of plays here in the second half. Plummer on the run. This one is incomplete, intended for Patrick Hape, his tight end. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, I think you guys will agree. It looks like this Raider defense has finally gelled. They fell into that trap that sometimes too much change is not a good thing. New coordinator, new scheme, a lot of new players. Sapp, Washington, Ray Buchanan, and Ray told us that they were still trying to find their identity, that everyone thinks they get a lot of talent, bring them together. Maybe they were a little too ambitious with what they were trying to do on defense. It took a long time, but now they finally seem to be coming together.
And he thought they were trying to cut it back at just about the right time. Here comes a blitz against Plummer. They force him to throw it short and quickly. Ashley Lally will make the catch, but Philip Buchanan was right there to wrap him up for a very short gain.
I'll tell you what blitzes do on third down, it makes the or any down, it makes the quarterback, if you get just one guy free, to get rid of the ball in a hurry. And when he has to get the ball in a hurry like Jake Plummer has to the left, you look at the heat, it's got to be a quick pass. So there's no chance for the receiver to get the 10 yards he needs.
That way Tyler Brayton, number 91, is able to come scot-free right into Jake's face.
Buchanan waits at his own 34. And the Raiders stand a pretty good chance of getting good field position again. Another very short kick. This one takes a Denver bounce inside the 40 with the roll, a kick of 37 yards. And that maligned Raiders defense 27th in the NFL, is getting it done tonight.
ESPN Original Entertainment presents
NASCAR's got to have talent and your magic on the asphalt.
Barry Pepper stars as Dale Earnhardt 3. Premieres Saturday, December 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
This is the coolest thing.
I just got a DirecTV DVR with T-Mobile.
This is a sports fan's dream.
I'm watching the game.
A slam dunk to the rafters.
Instant replay button.
Gotta see it again.
I'm the referee.
So boom.
See that nice linebacker hit on that wide receiver? You can see it over and over again.
Instant replay. Live television. Hello? The wish list is one of the best things.
It's like a search engine.
You put in their names, Chicago Bears,
New England Patriots.
It'll find it.
Every game for the whole season.
One button doesn't get any better than that.
DirecTV DVR. Call 1-866-GET a DVR for this special offer.
My man.
The party never ends. With the ESPN Game Plan College Football Pay-Per-View Package, get access to up to 12 games every Saturday all season long. Order an entire week for only $19.95. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to DirecTV.com today.
Saturday, December 4th, live on DirecTV Pay-Per-View. A battle between strength and skills. A battle between world champion and former world champion. Power and speed collide when lightweight champ Jose Luis Castillo faces Joel Casamayor. Also, newly crowned super middleweight champion Jeff Lacey defends the title against top contender Omar Shika. Saturday, December 4th on DirecTV Pay-Per-View or as part of your regular subscription to Showtime.
6:27 to go, third quarter. Rod Smith trying to fire up the troops here in Denver. They're down 13-10 in a huge game for the Broncos. Justin Fargas hit in the backfield. Swarmed under for a loss of 2.
We talked about the Raider defense stepping it up a notch. Denver has done it as well. The first game these two teams played, it was a 31-3 game. Denver just totally dominated everywhere. Here you see DJ Williams again. You see his speed to get inside. How does Miami not win a national championship every year with people like DJ Williams, Jonathan Vilma, Kellen Winslow Jr.? I mean,
they have a few, don't they?
Geez, they're great football players.
Four-man rush. Now they'll blow the play dead.
Jerry Porter, number 84, took off too quickly.
Ball start. Offense number 84. 5 yards, still second down.
Kerry Collins has made it difficult, even though he's only completed 50% of his passes. You look at the way he has spread the ball around. Under 15 yards, he's thrown 15 balls. Over 15 yards, he still has challenged everybody on the defensive secondary, including Champ Bailey, who plays that right side where Jerry Porter is.
Well, here's a situation where he better try to pick up 8 or 9.
Pressure coming, screen. Oh, Fargas. Loose ball. Broncos have it.
Ray Lee Johnson. I'll tell you what a great play by the defensive end, number 99. He played this screen perfectly. They had a full-scale blitz on Kerry Collins, and the screen was up the middle. But watch number 99, Ray Lee Johnson, breaks through the wall and makes the tackle.
Paulie, he didn't break through the wall. Neither one, no one. Brad Badger, he decides Adam True, nobody blocks Ray Lee Johnson. They let him walk right through. This is a perfect call against a blitz like that. All they need to do is get a piece of him, and Fargas is still running.
Do you have any idea how much better it sounded when I said he broke through the line and nobody blocked him? I just got to add a little drama to it. You know what I mean?
I like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. A little spice.
Yeah.
Huge break for the Broncos. Fake the Droughns, fake the end around. And now Plummer somehow got away. Throws. End zone intercepted. Picked off by Phillip Buchanan. He comes back the other way. Holy cow, what a play.
Now, this was a fake, I'm going to tell you, and he was going to throw the ball, the fake end around to Ashley Lee, and he was going to throw the ball to Ashley Lee. Then the pressure came. He ducks underneath it, then throws the interception.
This is what the problem sometimes is with Jake Plummer. Just trying to do too much. Hold on to it, Jake. That's all.
Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL, presents defensive lineman Brenton Buckner, who gets ready for the game with his Visa card and a lot of lip balm. In a remarkable pregame ritual, Brenton kisses his cleats once for every beloved member of his family. His son, Brandon. His mother, Thelma. His wife, Denise. Not his father-in-law, Thomas. He's a Browns fan. He's got his Visa. He's got his lip balm. He's ready.
I got a lot of names.
Visa, get ready for the game.
From Philips comes the only flat TV with built-in ambient light technology, which changes color with whatever you're watching, so you are completely surrounded by the experience. The new Philips Flat TV with Ambilight.
Cold hard fact. Other beers are shipped warm in trucks. Coors Light is always shipped cold. Why? Because we know you love cold beer. Coors Light, our goal, the coldest tasting beer in the world.
Hey, I can see you cooked.
Yeah.
That's so nice of you.
Are you excited for dinner?
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
Oh, man, there's a line.
Dockers Pro Style. Shirts and pants that do it all.
A detective with a grudge
Open the door, I'm gonna break it down.
becomes a prime suspect for a cold-blooded murder.
Tell me you didn't use that gun to kill this guy.
You think I would actually do something like that?
Tell me you didn't.
All new NYPD Blue, Tuesday, 10/9 Central, only on ABC.
Back in Denver on an exchange of turnovers. The Raiders have the ball back
at exactly the same spot that they gave it up.
Really a bizarre play. After they get the ball on the fumble, Jake Plummer looked for all the world like he was sacked, got away, then it looked like he was going to throw a touchdown pass. But Philip Buchanan had other ideas and picked it off.
I'll tell you, did he come out of there in a hurry?
Yes, he did.
He was moving.
3 turnovers tonight. They had only forced 8 in the first 10 games of the season. Three-man rush. Collins still under pressure. Throws to Fargas. And Fargas will pick up about 6.
I want to take you back to the interception. Right there is Ashley Lee. He's going to come around on the reverse. What's going to happen is Rod Smith's going to go this way, that the other guy coming yonder. What happens is Jake Plummer just tries to make too much. Okay, now you're trapped, Jake. You're trapped. You got away. Now don't try and make too big a play. Run into his left, he hangs it up in the air. Philip Buchanan does an excellent job of making it. Look at how he ducks under, though. Boy, so much of that was so good, and then the decision to make the throw was so bad.
Excuse me, can I ask you something? The other guy coming yonder?
Yonder. Coming yonder from yonder side.
What route is that? What's that yonder route?
It's a little bit of the New Jersey guy that went south.
It's an old New Jersey term. When you move from New Jersey to Memphis, you say yonder. It's amazing to watch Jake Plummer and see how really strong the guy is.
Yeah, and
the Raiders just picked up a first down.
And with him trying to make plays like that with his arm, it sometimes gets him in trouble. The game we did, the opener, Kansas City, coming out from his own goal line, switched the ball to his left hand, wound up throwing an interception.
The Raiders have recaptured the momentum. They're out at their own 48-yard line. Collins against the blitz. Loose ball. Now they're going to say it's incomplete. Porter got his hands on it, but Donnie Spragan was in there to take it away from him.
I thought, for a while there that Tyrone Whitley was out. He was hurt, but he made a great block. Take a look at this. Now, is this a catch? Is there control?
No.
You talked about Tyrone Wheatley, Paul. Watch number 47 go out to the right. Look at him just stick right there. Bang.
How good is that?
Boy, that's a big block. That's no little guy he's hit. That's Marco Coleman he's taken to the ground.
Second and 10 for the Raiders.
I think the Raiders want to challenge this because Jerry Porter, I believe, has control.
They're first. 30-second timeout.
I would almost wonder, if you look at that, I think Jerry Porter has this ball, he tucks it in, and winds up with his knee on the ground.
Now, if they challenge this one, they're going to lose.
When it comes to shipping, talk is cheap. Mistakes aren't.
Brown's got the horsepower. They've got the planes, the technology. Truth is, I don't care how they do it. I just care that my packages get there on time. Hey, all I ask for is perfection. Other than that, I'm pretty easy.
UPS delivers more packages on time than anyone. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
We're in Denver where the snow continues to fall and the temperature continues to drop. Let's go back to the last play.
Now, Michael, you think that he doesn't have control after it. His
Not
knee,
at the end.
His knee is on the ground.
The ball comes out.
It's an incomplete pass.
You have to have control.
I agree. See how easy it is?
You're mellowing.
Piece of cake.
Second and 10. Collins underneath to Wheatley, and boy, you set up a guy when you throw him a pass like that. And Kelly Herndon cut his legs out from under him, and Wheatley is hurt.
That knee.
I tell you, that's a good way to get a guy killed. I'm not kidding you. I mean, you don't ever set him up like this. Here's Tyrone Wheatley. He has no chance. Kelly Herndon is right on the ground and hits him shoulder right on the knee.
And there's nothing wrong with the hit. It's just a clean play. Wheatley is in a tough position and gets whacked. We'll check on him when we come back.
Let's talk about better. When someone says something's better, it's usually just their opinion. So if you suffer from acid reflux disease, frequent heartburn, and I told you prescription Nexium heals acid-related damage in the esophagus better, you'd want proof. And now, your doctor has that proof. Recent medical studies prove Nexium heals that damage better than the other leading prescription medicine. No wonder they call Nexium the healing purple pill. This is big news, so call your doctor today and ask if Nexium is right for you. Because if left untreated, the damage could get worse. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Hey, with Nexium, you don't just feel better, you are better. And better is better. For a free trial offer for Nexium, visit us at purplepill.com or call 1-800-4-NEXIUM.
Capital One Mascot True Love Challenge.
Nothing like a day in the sun to see if Melissa's love for one of these mascots heats up.
So who wants to put lotion on my back?
Help Melissa choose by voting at CapitalOneBowl.com for the National Mascot of the Year. Tune in to the Capital One Bowl to see who wins.
What's in your wallet?
Back in Denver, and unfortunately they are still tending to Tyrone Wheatley, who was spun around on that last tackle when he tried to catch the pass out in the flat.
He gets hit here by Kelly Herndon in the right knee. But when he comes down, take a look at what happens. He lands on that left leg, and then he reaches for his left leg.
And they're taking him off on a cart. Let's go to Susie. Susie, do you have anything else on it?
Well, we can't even imagine what's going through his mind now. It's been a season full of injuries for Tyrone Wheatley. He missed 3 games with a separated shoulder, and since then has been playing with the pain of an anterior high ankle sprain. We talked to him last night. You could tell as he walked out of the room, just about everything on his body hurt. A shame to see him leaving on a cart right now.
Well, now he's got an addition to it, Suze, and that's a big loss for them. Now they've got Fargas, Zaraway, and Redmond along with the fullback Zach Crockett. And they'll go with J.R. Redmond on 3rd and 10. Collins with pressure in his face throws it up for grabs. And it is incomplete.
Now, you know what? That should be pass interference. Kerry Collins is in the pocket. Somebody just comes up and absolutely levels Ronald Curry. I mean,
you're absolutely right. I think they were guessing maybe that ball was tipped. That's why it came out that way, and they took the opportunity to get him.
There is no way this is not pass interference. You cannot hit him. Look it. Ronald Curry is running for the ball, and he just gets knocked over. I guess my question is, what do they call pass interference in this league?
That was Kenoy Kennedy, and I will guarantee you, Joe, he thought that ball was tipped and he was going to get a free shot, but it wasn't tipped.
Well, what about the official? The official has to throw the flag and then check with the other officials to see if it has been tipped.
We got an injured player down here in front of the Bronco bench. Kelly Herndon, 31, and Champ Bailey went up together. Kelly Herndon, Champ Bailey, they meet in midair, and when Kelly Herndon came down, the ball comes out. He has the interception. Watch the two of them. They hit here. Kelly Herndon's going to come back down on his back. Right there.
Jeez.
And the ball comes out. He couldn't hold on to the football. But you're absolutely right, Joe. I mean, Kenoy Kennedy just labeled Gabriel coming across.
I think it was Ronald Curry.
Curry.
But you're right. How can that be a no call? He was just obliterated.
Snow must have gotten the officials' eyes.
Now they'll punt to Smith. Smith has to go to his knees to cover up the muff. He gets 2 yards on the return after a punt of 37.
The level and intensity of this game has gone up a considerable amount.
Has.
And there's a lot at stake here for the Denver Broncos. With the San Diego Chargers winning earlier today, Denver goes to San Diego next week. And the way you look at these AFC teams, Mike, and you brought it up in the open, if you don't win this division, there's a real good chance you're not going to get into the postseason.
There's just too many good teams in the AFC. Somebody who has a very deserving record is going to be left out. At least it looks that way. Now Jake Plummer's got to go to work on offense, and the Broncos will start in a very unfavorable field position again. They've been in this position most of the night, and Tyler Brayton makes the tackle on Reuben Droughns. Take a look at those records in the AFC. The top records, of course, you've got Pittsburgh and New England right at the top at 10-1. San Diego, Indianapolis, and the Jets all 8-3. Denver trying to join them, and Baltimore at 7-4. You have 3 division champions. You've got the wild card. Somebody gets left out. And the only way to ensure you're not getting left out is to win your division. Plummer with good protection. Ashley Lally makes the catch. This is a very talented wide receiver out of Hawaii. You don't think this is a strange condition for him to play football?
Well, it's strange for him, but then also you take a look at Jake Plummer. Jake Plummer comes out of Arizona, plays in the desert, lives in the desert, plays a lot of pro ball, and you look at him out here in the snow, and you look at a kid, and you say, this guy looks like he's been living in this kind of weather all his life.
Lally finally came in and dedicated himself to the game this year after 2 years where he admitted he did the minimum. He cared about football when he came to work, when he came to practice, but he did not do anything extra. He did just what was required, and no matter how talented you are in this league, if you just do what is required, you're not going to get any better.
No, and he really, I'll tell you, Ashley Lee really had to work at it, and he was the first to admit that he just, he figured his talents would just take over for him. Well, we found out with most guys that you talk to in the first and second year that all of a sudden everybody has more talent than you have. You better work on something.
Or at least as much, or they're just as fast. Raiders done a good job against the run tonight. Plummer over the middle to the enormous tight end Dwayne Carswell. The ball comes out late. Carswell, 290. I mean, defensive backs do not want to see Dwayne Carswell coming.
They worked him at tackle during the during training camp this year, and he's a big reason why they've been able to run the football so successfully, because he is just another offensive lineman.
They're going to let the clock run down and end the third quarter. It will be a 2nd and 7. Check it now. They have moved the sticks. It will be 3rd and a long 1 as they try to keep this drive alive. That's the end of the third quarter. The Raiders continue to lead 13-10.
Who is Carmelo Anthony? A tough kid from the inner city streets of Baltimore? Or is he just an athlete with too much talent and not enough experience? Is he known for his super cool or his intense passion? Is he a lover or fire? Lobster or PB&J with the crust cut off? Is he a team leader or just a mama's boy? The answer? Yes. Yes!
아무도 본 사람은 없었는데 해골 바가지 모양으로 말이야.
Some ghosts come from the afterlife. Some send you there. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon 2, rated T for teen.
What if nothing was ever forgotten? What if nothing was ever lost?
The Raiders came in here tonight hoping to stick it to the Denver Broncos, their longtime rival. They're doing it now, winning by 3. One of the things that Mike Shanahan loved about Jake Plummer was even when he was on losing teams in the desert, when it got to the fourth quarter, you could see the fire burning in this guy. He wasn't trying to protect his stats, wasn't trying to protect himself. He was trying to win the ball game.
He's one of the, well, not one, I was going to say one of the few quarterbacks that does it, but he's the guy that really doesn't care about stats. They're not important. There's only one that is important to him, and that's winning a football game.
And he talked about it. He said, you know, he left an awful lot of wins get away from him when he was in Arizona, and he's here trying to make up for him.
Blitz coming. They do a good job of picking it up, and he throws downfield. The catch down to the 3. Ashley Lilly, 56 yards.
Well, I said earlier that you're going to have to get Ashley Lilly back into this football game or get him in the football game. There's also pass interference on this play. And Ashley Lilly ended up landing on the ball.
Defense number 25 is declined.
First of all, this was pass interference. Now, Ashley Lilly coming back up. Here comes the pass interference. That's Walker. And watch Ashley Lilly. I mean, he's not put to the ground because he's hit there. Now he catches the ball. So Walker doesn't really touch him. So up he gets, and he gets the ball down to about the 3-yard line.
Boy, Denard Walker, though, Paulie, here's a guy who didn't quit. He didn't just stay on the ground. He got up and made the tackle.
And Lilly didn't quit either, and Lilly is still down.
Hit his knee on the hard ground, I think.
It's a huge ovation, and that was a nice play coming out of the timeout.
You know, we saw Jake Plummer throw a pass before the half. Now, it's snowing, it's cold. These guys have been out here a long time. And just think about the pass he just threw here again. He had Ashley Lilly. He hit him perfectly. There was no chance for Walker to cover him. Just a perfect pass.
Jake looks so relaxed. I mean, he's just in total control of what's going on. You start talking about the quarterbacks who are Pro Bowl caliber quarterbacks in this conference. He's definitely one of those guys.
Lilly now 4 catches, 80 yards. Reuben Droughns. Bouncing off tacklers, touchdown. Ben Hamilton pulled from his left guard spot and gave him a block on the corner.
I'll tell you what, when you get down there with Reuben Droughns, and the thing about him that is so impressive, watch his feet, watch him move. He doesn't stop. He never stops moving. Here he comes to the outside. Look at this guy. His legs are always going. He just powers himself back to the outside for the touchdown.
Denver regains the lead. Elam will try to make it 4 points. And does. Keep in mind, these are not automatic tonight. Oakland already missed an extra point.
Honey, wake up. It's Christmas. Time for presents. Come on, sleepyheads. Let's go.
This holiday, show her how excited you are about her. With the Leo Diamond, handcrafted by the artisans at Leo Schachter. The first diamond to be independently measured and certified for its superior fire, sparkle, and brilliance. And like all diamonds at Kay, every Leo is hand-selected to match beautifully.
Wow. Wow. Every kiss begins with K.
Movies, music, memories, and TV have come to the home computer. Experience the new home PC, powered by Intel and Microsoft at digitaljoy.com.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. Two cars. The same, yet different. Kind of like those twins I met in Chicago.
The Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. Rethink what's possible.
ESPN Sunday Night Football brought to you by Intel and Microsoft. Experience the new home PC at digitaljoy.com. Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. K Jewelers, every kiss begins with K. And Subway, it's what to eat when you want to eat fresh. Subway, eat fresh.
Hard to imagine, but it's getting colder in Denver.
Hard to imagine.
I'm freezing. Down to 17 degrees, not counting the wind, but what a ball game. We've had one big play after another. Once we got inside the 2-minute warning of the first half, things really exploded. Reuben on the return for the Raiders. We talked about Jake Plummer impressing Mike Shanahan by his ability to make things happen in the fourth quarter. One of the reasons he brought him in here. Well, we're in the fourth quarter. This is the bomb to Ashley Lallee that got the ball down to the 3-yard line. And then it was Reuben Droughns following his blocking and using his power to give the Denver Broncos the lead.
Isn't it amazing? Reuben Droughns, the first 4 games of this year, he played fullback. He had a total of 30 yards rushing in 4 games. And then he went nuts.
Now he's moving on to 1,000.
Now the ball back in Kerry Collins' court. Collins out in the flat. Reuben. A yard. Remember, Wheatley is gone with a hamstring injury.
But here's a game, really, I mean, we saw 3 really big bombs in this ball game. But this is a game, you're inside 14 minutes in the fourth quarter, that you don't get greedy, Joe. You just do what you need to do to move the chains.
I think you take the shots you have to. I mean, you don't change your personality. And the Raiders have been guys tonight that want to go down the field.
Collins has this blocked and intercepted. Blocked at the line and picked off Ellis Johnson. Touchdown. the 288-pound veteran.
You know what? He may be 288, but that guy's got some speed.
Well,
you see him take off?
You get these big guys get the ball in their hand, they become track stars.
They think they are. They think they're wide receivers or running backs. Ellis Johnson, this ball is going to be tipped right here at the line of scrimmage. Now watch this when he catches the ball. Look at the speed to the outside.
Monsanto Pope, the same guy that blocked the extra point, got this one up in the air as well.
It looked like Ellis was being chased by a wide receiver, and they weren't going to catch him. Elam for the point after, a 32-yard interception return by the 10-year veteran who they picked up in a trade from Atlanta. And what a turnaround in this game, 24-13.
SportsCenter, a record-setting day between the Bengals and the Browns. Why the Eagles are now in the same class as the '85 Bears, and is it one and done for Coach Joe's NFL return? SportsCenter after the game. We'll see you.
You know what happened while you were in the store? Your brand new car just got bombarded with dents. It seems like the world is out to ruin your car. Now you can pop those dents with Popsident from Simonize, the fast, easy way to make those dents disappear. Just press the special adhesive disc onto the dent, lower the pulling rod onto the disc, turn the handle, and Popsident. Call right now and get the amazing Simonize Popsident system with everything you need to fix dozens of dents, just $19.95. Call in the next 15 minutes and we'll send you Popsident Scratch Remover. The exclusive matching formulation blends in with your car's natural color and makes those ugly scratches disappear. We'll also send you a glue gun and glue sticks. A total $40 value, yours free with every Popsident system.
Call 1-800-417-7744 to order the Simonize Popsident for only $19.95 plus shipping and handling. That number again is 1-800-417-7744.
All right, Steph, try it this way. NBA League Pass lets you watch your favorite players no matter where they are. You hear the difference?
League Pass? NBA League Pass?
With up to 40 games a week from DirecTV, how can you ask for more?
Wait, I got it. NBA League Pass.
We're going to be here all night, aren't we?
Get NBA League Pass from DirecTV for just $189. To order, call 1-800-GET-SPORTS or visit DirecTV.com.
Exactly 1 minute ago on the clock, the Raiders led 13-10. In that minute, 2 touchdowns by the Denver Broncos.
I'll tell you what's great. All the players come up, and Ellis Johnson sits on the bench and takes their congratulation. Mike Shanahan walks up. He gets up off the bench to hug the coach. Smart guy.
Doug Gabriel on the return, trying to get to the outside, and can't. Taken down at the 30.
Monsanto Pope, same guy that blocked the extra point earlier in the game. There he is right there with Ellis Johnson, the 2 guys in the middle. They get the rush up outside. Now he just gets his hand up, and you hear the sound of the ball. Terrific job by Ellis Johnson just locating it. It falls in his hands, and then you see him sort of pull away from Ronald Curry, the wide receiver. And Kerry Collins says, we've got it going. We're still in this thing. And all of a sudden, you get snake bit like that.
They're down by 11. Plenty of time to go, though. Justin Fargas, the running back. Blitz coming. And bobbled and incomplete, intended for Teo Johnson. And Donnie Sprague, the linebacker, had the coverage.
You know, we talked in the first half about the Denver Bronco linebackers and the great speed that they have. When you have linebackers, I'll tell you what, anything you throw in short within 5 yards, you're going to have a linebacker covering somebody.
Al Wilson's gone sideline to sideline. Donnie Sprague, DJ Williams, all of them can run, Paulie.
Second and 10. J.R. Redmond, the running back. Collins back to throw out in the flat. Curry will make the catch, knocked out of bounds.
Well, what they did is they put Jerry Porter on the top side, and they knew Champ Bailey's going to be out there with him. So they put 2 receivers back on this bottom side, and they just ran quick outs. Not quick outs, but like an 8-yard out, and it opened it wide. If Jerry Porter is going to take Champ Bailey out of the game, now, you know, it's hard to say it because Jerry Porter's already caught 2 touchdown passes on Champ Bailey. But basically, Champ Bailey, if you get him away from the rest of this offense, you can do some things.
They've been picking their spots. This is a 3rd and a short.
And they don't have Wheatley in there, that 245-pound tailback.
But they also went 3 games without him also. So it's not like this offense hasn't had to adjust without Tyrone Wheatley.
They've got Zach Crockett in there as a blocking back for Justin Fargas. Collins with a fake. And again, it's Porter. Perfect throw by Kerry Collins.
What a great call. Jimmy Ray, the offensive coordinator. I mean, and North Turner. Both sides of the ball, the offensive coaches are calling gutsy plays. 3rd down in shorts, 3rd down in longs. They just take off and go. Champ Bailey and Kenoit Kennedy. That time again. Good play fake. Steps up. Terrific job by Zach Crockett keeping Al Wilson outside. Look at this throw. Look at this catch.
4 catches, 122 yards for Porter, and that one came in like a rainbow. 1st and goal from the 9. Collins out in the flat to Curry. At the 5, shakes a tackler down near the 3. And Champ Bailey slow to get up.
I think he's just angry.
I do. I don't think he's not tired. He's just angry. He really is. Here it is. You got Champ Bailey on Porter. Look at him. He's just down the middle. He splits the 2 defensive backs, Kenoit Kennedy and Champ Bailey, and the ball is perfectly thrown. I don't care what kind of a defender you are. You're not going to defend against that pass.
2nd and goal. Incomplete. Jolly got a hand on it, couldn't hold it. It will be 3rd down.
This would have been one of the all-time great catches if he holds on to this. He tries to snatch this thing out of the air one hand. Kerry Collins throws a rocket. Watch this. Reaches over, behind the back, just got away from him.
And Kelly Herndon was there to make sure he didn't catch it.
And Kelly Herndon was there to discourage him from catching in the first place.
3rd and goal. For Gabriel, and knocked away, incomplete by Willie Middlebrooks, and a flag.
What they're saying is that Willie Middlebrooks got his arm on the receiver. On Doug Gabriel, they said he had his arm on him when he went up to knock the ball down.
Well, he did.
He also grabbed him around the neck.
Well, he had his arm on his shoulder. Look at his left arm. Now he's got him around the neck. That's pass interference.
That would qualify.
I would think so. And that gives them 1st down on the 1.
Kerry Collins knows it's pass interference.
A new set of downs for the Raiders.
Now is where you miss a Tyrone Wheatley.
No, you don't.
Maybe you give it to Zach Crockett. Zach's carried the ball 4 times. Maybe this is his 5th.
A couple of years ago, Zach Crockett had 8 touchdowns on only 40 carries. He was the short yardage guy. Loose ball, and Collins will cover up at the 12. He was going to hand that ball to Fargas, and I don't think Kerry Collins ever had a grip on it.
No, he didn't. The ball just came out, and Kerry Collins, you talk about, Fargas is number 20. Look at here. He goes to hand it to him. The ball slips out of his hand. But what he does is really smart. Nothing stupid. Just falls on the ball. You still have time. You have 3 more downs. Look at this. That ball's flying out. Now, but he goes down and gets it.
We see a lot of guys wear gloves in weather condition like this. I never liked it. Kerry Collins doesn't like it. He wants to be able to feel the ball.
Well, they didn't have gloves that small when you were playing.
Well, he's going to have to feel the ball from the 12-yard line now, and they'll whistle this play dead. Did they come across early, or were they drawn? They were drawn. So they go from 1st and goal at the 1. They'll move it back to the 17.
Robert Gallery winds up moving a little too quick. And Jake Grove, both the rookies, got out a little bit quick. And you see number 76 on the right side.
Grove moved first.
64. Now Grove, they project as a center, has come and filled the right guard position when Ron Stone got hurt.
The Raiders going the wrong way. Collins, John Lynch intercepts at the goal line. John Lynch, the player they picked up from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who was an all-star in Florida for so many years, comes out to the snows of Denver and makes a huge play here.
So just when I'm thinking, isn't there a car out there I could get excited about? Wham! There's this car with all this stuff. Then as I'm thinking, now here's a car I could see myself in. Wham! There's this other car with all this stuff. Then just as I'm thinking, how could this possibly get any sweeter?
The Mazda 3 and Mazda 3 5-door. The wait is over. Now arriving daily. Rethink what's possible.
Successful investing. At T. Rowe Price, it's about more than just hitting home runs. It's about a consistent, steady approach, year after year. Over 75% of our funds beat their 1, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Where to?
I could go for a large order of how come it looks so much bigger in the picture.
Or how about an extra spicy did you bring to antacid?
Not me. I'm going for a total happiness.
We always get a total happiness.
And?
Yeah.
Yes, total happiness just might be a Subway meatball marinara. A giant sandwich with meatballs, melted cheese, and fresh baked bread.
What you got there?
A little something I call total happiness.
Well, you got total happiness on your shirt.
Subway, eat fresh.
ESPN Original Entertainment presents
NASCAR's gotta have talent and your magic on the asphalt.
Barry Pepper stars as Dale Earnhardt 3. Premieres Saturday, December 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Huge play by the Denver defense as the Broncos were on the verge of giving up a touchdown that would make this a very close game again.
That's a classic case of a young receiver not finishing the route and Kerry Collins throwing to an area.
Well, you know Kerry Collins is not going to throw the ball directly to John Lynch. He was obviously waiting for somebody to come across there, and nobody did, and Lynch was the beneficiary. Now to the end zone. Droughns. Room to run. Reuben Droughns for 18 yards.
Michael, I want to take you back to what happened with Kerry Collins. On the left part of your screen, that's Doug Gabriel. He's supposed to fill in. That's where Kerry Collins is throwing the ball. That's where Gabriel's supposed to wind up. For some reason, he just stops. He'd have caught that ball right in front of John Lynch. Instead, he goes back the other way. And for some unbeknownst reason, he just didn't continue the route.
Well, you touched on it earlier. These are young wide receivers who are not always where Kerry Collins is going to expect them to be.
Well, there was also a penalty on the Reuben Droughns run and moves the ball back to the 1-yard line.
And that would have taken him over 100 yards tonight. He came in 5 of the 6 games as a featured back with over 100. Now get back to work and try to get it again. And Reuben Droughns fights his way out near the 7.
Don't you love what Denver just did? They ran a play with Reuben Droughns to the off tackle, right? He picked up 18 yards. They had a penalty. So what did they do? They came back with the exact same play again.
Well, they only have 2 plays. They really
Here goes Droughns back. He sees his block. He goes back to the inside, and he picks up 5 yards.
They have 2 plays. They have one called wide zone, where the guy aims at the tackle. The other one called tight zone. They run them left and right.
One thing, the reason why Reuben Droughns has gotten so many 100-yard rushing, and you always talk about this offensive line, this is one of the 3 offensive lines in the National Football League that has been together the entire year.
And these guys, exceptional working together. They use a zone blocking scheme that most teams don't use. They work together. This is the smallest offensive line in the league, and they're just more athletic than a lot of people.
And this is a huge down for the Oakland Raider defense, because if they don't stop them here and they can run 6 more minutes off the clock, you're looking at, Oakland has to get 2 possessions to have a chance to even get close. So this is it. I mean, this is basically the ball game for the Raiders defensively if they can't stop them.
Well, if they threw 3rd and 5.
If they threw the ball coming out in the end of the first half, they got to be worried about him throwing the ball again.
Carswell backs up to work as a blocker. Smith can't hold it, and good defense by Charles Woodson, who got out there from the corner.
Charles Woodson on Rod Smith, and Rod Smith is complaining that Charles Woodson grabbed him. Here goes Woodson. You're allowed to check within 5 yards, and then he's back out. That was just excellent coverage. The ball was to the outside. It would have been a great catch, one-handed.
That's a good, and here's something the officials most of the night have done an excellent job, I think, letting the guys play.
Micah Nord, a punt to the dangerous Philip Buchanan. No pressure on Nord, and then he shanks it to the near side. Very fortunate to get a bounce forward. And they will mark it at the 41-yard line. So great field position for the Raiders after a 34-yard punt.
SportsCenter, a record-setting day between the Bengals and the Browns. Why the Eagles are now in the same class as the '85 Bears, and is it one and done for Coach Joe's NFL return? SportsCenter after the game. We'll see you.
What's this? It's how Windows Media Video, streamed from the web, would look on your TV if you had the MSN TV2 Internet and Media Player with service from Microsoft. It lets you stream Windows Media compatible video, music, and photos from the Internet or your PC onto your TV. You can even access the Internet, do email, and more, all within your comfort zone.
The new MSN TV2 Internet and Media Player. Call or go online now.
DirecTV Freeview presents an unforgettable experience. Los Lobos, live at San Francisco's Fillmore Theater. For the first time on film, Los Lobos and their unique blend of classic rock and Latin music in an unforgettable concert. Catch Los Lobos playing every weekend this month on Channel 125, and be sure to pick up their latest CD and DVD.
Words and Music, John Mellencamp's greatest hits.
About Jack and Diane.
35 remastered classics, plus 2 new songs on 2 CDs. Includes limited edition DVD. Rock and roll doesn't get any better. Words and Music, John Mellencamp's greatest hits.
Exactly 8 minutes to go from snowy Denver, and the Broncos with an 11-point lead. The Raiders need 2 scores, and they're running out of time. Collins forced to step up. Nice throw to Gabriel. Gabriel throws one defender away. That was Champ Bailey, and then is taken out of bounds.
I like
21 yards.
I like that. Here's a kid that doesn't make a play the last time they had the ball. It was supposed to come in. Now he's mad, he's angry, he's going to make up for it. Kerry Collins, nice job sliding in the pocket. There you see the footing, how tough it is to be able to get out and make cuts. If you're a defensive back, you almost have to wait. And there you see Champ Bailey just get thrown aside.
Some big wide receivers on this team. Collins out in the flat again. This time Porter in front of Champ Bailey, knocked out at the 13th. The fourth quarter has been huge for the Denver Broncos. First, Jake Plummer going to Ashley Lally. He takes it down to the 3, and then Reuben Droughns finishes it off for the touchdown. Then it was the Denver defense. The tip, the interception by Ellis Johnson, the 32-yard touchdown return, and then John Lynch picks it off at the goal line.
And here they are, the Raiders back in their territory
They
again.
just keep coming, Paul. Curry.
You know,
He
these
stopped at the 6.
Excuse me, these guys may be young receivers, but I'll tell you right now, when they get their hands on the ball, they know what to do with it. They get that thing upfield. They take as many yards as they possibly can get.
And that was one of the things that Larry Coyer, the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos, concerned himself. When I talked to him on Friday, he said one of the biggest things I'm worried about is the size of those receivers you mentioned, Paul.
They know that they can pick up extra yardage. All they got to do is make the move.
And they're as athletic as anybody in the league. Redmond goes in motion. Collins to the back of the end zone. Curry, touchdown.
What an unbelievable play. We talked about the athletic ability. This is as good a catch as you'll ever see. This reminds me of a Marvin Harrison catch. Remember the one-hander we had?
Yes, sir.
This is just like it. Watch this play. Reach up, one hand, catch it. Look at that. Look at that. Now gain possession and control and come down and hold on.
And now they're going to go for 2. But I'll tell you something about Ronald Curry. When he was in high school in the Virginia Beach area of Virginia, he was the National Player of the Year as a quarterback in high school football, and he was the National Player of the Year as the point guard on the basketball team. If he'd have played something else, he might have been the National Player of the Year in that too. And now Collins will have to use a timeout, and that is huge because they're going to need those.
That kills you when you have to burn a timeout on a 2-minute play.
And that's their second timeout. They have one and a 2-minute warning. Well, I'll tell you one thing. When you take a look at this catch,
look at the elevation.
He does have gloves on, and watch him it just pulls it down. The total concentration to be able to hold on to the ball, get hit, and keep it when you hit out of bounds.
Said he has gloves on. I don't care if he's got a first baseman, Smith.
And Al Wilson's trying to take his hat off. That's right, Mike.
But he...
Let's go to Susie.
Mike, I asked Curry if being a quarterback in high school and college made him a better wide receiver, and he said only in the sense that when he was drafted as a quarterback, so he sat in meetings with the quarterbacks and learned firsthand what they expected from the wide receivers. But this truly has been a breakout season for him as he reinvented himself. This is the first time in his football career that he's been able to concentrate on just one position, wide receiver. You can see what he can do with it.
Susie, when he was younger, he was just so much faster than anybody else. People couldn't compete with him in anything. And now because they missed an earlier extra point, they're going to go for 2 to cut it to a 3-point game. Collins with the fade, and Champ Bailey the only one close to it. And that means the Raiders are going to need a touchdown.
You always wonder when they call a timeout and then you come out with a play like that and you got J.R. Redmond in the same area as Jerry Porter and 3 Denver Broncos, why you wasted the timeout?
Well, what was odd is when they started that play, it looked like everybody they had was to the near side. Kerry Collins had no option whatsoever except to throw it there.
I mean, Kerry Collins is saying, what's going on?
You know, the thing about it is, we're talking about Curry. Here's a guy, he makes a catch like he just made there in the end zone for a touchdown. And last week he drops the winning touchdown.
Opportunity,
and it was wide open.
Well, this game emotionally means a lot to both teams because they truly dislike each other. But it means a lot more to Denver because they need the win to tie the San Diego Chargers for first place in the AFC West, and they play at San Diego next week.
And it puts them 4-0 in their division.
Right.
That's the most important thing. You look at the division. You win your division, you're in the playoffs.
They've already beaten San Diego soundly here earlier in the year.
But San Diego's playing pretty good football. We saw that today.
Drew Brees continues to just play well. Antonio Gates, what a show he put on.
They'll kick it away with over 6 minutes to go. Rocky Alexander on the run, and then comes to a halt as he crossed the 25. Let's go to Chris Berman. Boomer.
Michael, thank you. The Steelers just keep on trucking, and the bus just keeps on rolling. Another 100-yard game, 4 in a row for him. 9 straight wins. Pittsburgh, they win at home over Washington, 16-7.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Chris. You have to hand it to that Redskins defense. They have had no help all year long. They just played their heart out.
Well, they forgot to tell Jerome Bettis that he's a backup.
Yeah, they did.
Boy, what a job he has done. Here's a guy.
I'm telling you.
All those touchdowns used in a spot. They said a spot roll. Yeah, a spot, like 7 games.
Yeah, the bus has had an overhaul, and he's just fine. Drones. Join us for a full night of football next Sunday on ESPN starting at 7:30 Eastern with NFL Primetime. And then we get to see the rookie, Ben Roethlisberger, as the Steelers go to Jacksonville to take on Byron Leftwich and the Jaguars on Sunday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. That should be a lot of fun, too.
What Roethlisberger does is make plays. You know, in this league, they say, hey, you got to make plays. This guy can, and he's a rookie.
Huge drive here for Denver. They would love to take some time off the clock. Droughns.
I'll tell you the other thing.
That was a shot by Marcus Anderson.
Wait a minute. Marcus Anderson hit him, and I'm going to tell you something. And Drone still picks up. Drone still picks up 2 or 3 yards on this play. Now, this is.
Reuben Droughns just hit 100 yards 6 of the 7 games in which he has started as the featured running back. He's gone over 100. He has been a workhorse and unbelievably productive. Look at that shot by Anderson, and he still goes forward. 3rd and a long yard. Hit in the backfield, then hit again. He did not make it, and the Raiders defense comes up huge. Anderson led the charge again.
Oh, I'll tell you, and Ray Buchanan, number 34, what a job he does on this play. I'm going to tell you something. Drones just gets wrapped up by 3 guys. Watch it. Boom, boom. And that's Buchanan, the guy that makes the stick on the bottom.
Danny Clark comes in too, number 55. He just blows up Kyle Johnson, the fullback.
I mean, that's unbelievable. This defense has not quit. And you talk about they were in disarray at the beginning of this season, not anymore.
And Reuben may have lost his 100 yards.
Rob Ryan's the defensive coordinator of this unit. He's got them figured out, filling gaps now.
So the Raiders will get it back with plenty of time. Not a good kick. Buchanan trying to find room to run. Retreats and lost yardage. Mike Leach with a tremendous job downfield. Pins a loss of 6 on the return on it.
Look at this. Watch number 83 come into your picture now and just go for his foot. Look at that arm sweep.
Great play.
Oh, man.
Maybe Buchanan trying to do too much. And now he has them in a hole. Kerry Collins, 4th quarter drives or overtime to win 22 times in his 10-year career with Carolina, the New York Giants, and now the Raiders. And he has time to do it. 3:37 on the 4th quarter clock. Underneath, Fargas, and Fargas is upended again by Herndon. Boy, has Herndon had some shots on people.
Keep in mind, the Raiders have 1 timeout left and the 2-minute warning, so they will be able to stop the clock twice. And the safeties and the corners in this game have just delivered incredible blows. There's Kelly Herndon just whacking away at Justin Fargas.
You're seeing a classic example where corners have to play, and I mean, they have to tackle.
middle. Curry. He's got a chance to go. Tripped up finally. Lynch pins him inside the 10.
He tripped up himself.
Yeah, he was going so fast his feet couldn't catch up to him.
Tripped up himself. His feet were moving so fast that he couldn't keep it up.
64 yards. How did he get that wide open?
Well, they're trying to play a soft zone. Look at the middle. Now watch what happens. He tries to cut back from John Lynch. Now he's running, and he just falls.
His body couldn't keep up with his feet. But I'm going to tell you something. You know, you talk about the throw, the catch, and everything. This offensive line has done a terrific job in this game.
Paul, they have. It's 1st and goal just inside the 10. Collins throws it away. Reggie Hayward applying the pressure. Collins had to unload. It will be 2nd and goal. They have the ball at probably the most disadvantaged place on the field you could have it. Just inside the 10. They can't get a first down. They have to get a touchdown.
But I'll tell you can't say enough about the offensive line of the Oakland Raiders, what they've done. Because the big plays that Kerry Collins has made is from sitting in the pocket and having the time to throw the ball.
Collins over the middle, down to the 5 on a completion. That will take us to the 2-minute warning as Zaraway caught it out of the backfield. Donnie Spragan made the tackle. The game hanging in the balance with 2 minutes left.
Say it with me. Say it with me. Here we go. Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's go.
Grill.
Let's go, insurers and adjusters. Let's
$80.
Go. Cut that meat.
Sandwich.
Cut that meat.
$6.
Cut that meat.
Gas.
And it's full.
$20.
You're my favorite accountant. Tommy, please. Johnny, please join my fantasy team. You're my favorite worker.
Fans.
Yes. Woo!
Priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Okay. Never gonna wash his hand. Right here, look at that.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The one company that put the soul of a sports car in everything it makes now offers 10 ways to feel it. Mazda, how do you want your Zoom Zoom?
Yeah, 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 zoom. I guess you're just what I need.
Circuit City's store-wide sale is going on now. Hurry in today for unbeatable prices on the coolest gifts. All camcorders are on sale. All MP3 players and home theater systems are on sale, too. You'll get a free DVD player with any TV $6.99 and up. And pay no interest till January 2007 on all TVs $4.99 and up. Now at Circuit City.
Vote now at NFL.com for this year's Pro Bowl team and help decide who'll be playing in Hawaii. Plus, win a trip to the game by entering the Pro Bowl in Paradise sweepstakes. Visit NFL.com.
2 minutes to go. 2nd and goal for the Oakland Raiders. They're down by 5. Here's what the quarterbacks have done tonight. Both have performed very, very well under difficult conditions at best. And Collins overthrows Zaraway.
Oh, and he had Amos Zaraway headed for the corner, right for the pylon.
And he had to throw this thing flat-footed because he was looking everywhere but to Zaraway. And then he sees Zaraway at the last second. He throws it flat-footed. He can't get it to come down. And the ball just goes up.
This is the game. The Denver Broncos are just not going to allow Kerry Collins to throw the ball in the middle of the football field.
4th and goal from the 5. Touchdown, Porter.
Great job by that offensive line. You talked about it, Paul. That was the key on that play.
When you take a look at this, he has all day to throw the football. And I'm going to tell you something. Porter wasn't his primary target. He waited and he waited and waited, and Porter got himself open in the end zone. And Kerry Collins just sat there and then threw it. They're going to go for 2.
Right now, they're up by 1. This would make it a 3-point game.
Look at the time he's got. He's got all day, and you can't cover anybody that long. Here goes Porter. Champ Bailey is letting him go into the inside. Look at him. He's just sitting there waiting, and hit him right in the gut.
He could have hit him in any number of holes.
6 catches, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns for Jerry Porter, who only had 1 coming into the game. Collins on the 2-point conversion, no.
There's a flag down in the end zone. I'm going to tell you something. Somebody threw Doug Jolly out of the end zone. They ran him out of the end zone.
He's just getting back in now.
Offense number 88 is declined. No good try.
They called it on Doug Jolly, number 88.
Didn't he get thrown out? Didn't you say he was one who was thrown out of the end zone?
He was almost down to the tunnel.
I don't know how he got there, and then they called it on him. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, Jake the Snake. How many fourth-quarter comebacks has he got?
Look at Jerry Porter.
Well, the numbers on Porter, 135 yards and 3 scores. And the big part about the 2-point conversion is that a field goal now, instead of tying it and sending it into overtime, would win the ball game. And we saw some of Jake the Snake's heroics out in the desert. We saw him succeed. We saw him fail.
All right. And here's the thing with Denver, just one quickly. They have 3 timeouts.
Yes.
Where the Raiders only had 1, and they never even used the 1 that they had. But there are 3 timeouts left for the Denver Broncos.
See, I think that the decision that Rob Ryan, the defensive coordinator, has to make for the Oakland Raiders is do you play a soft zone, or do you keep the pressure on that you have? I think you have to keep the pressure on and let your corners and let your safeties play the way they've been playing.
I agree. I mean, you've come this far. 58 minutes like this, go for it. Go after him.
You saw what happened when Denver backed off.
And Denver will have pretty decent field position to start what could be the winning drive. Let's go to Susie.
Mike, the matchup of the game has been Champ Bailey on Jerry Porter. We thought offense would win out, and it has. Champ thought he'd get the best of him, but he did admit to us the other day that Porter is so big, but yet deceiving a lot quicker than you think he would be. And talking to Jerry before the game, he even said, hard to say who would have the advantage of this game, but just execute well, stick with it. 6 catches, 135 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Talk about auditioning for free agency, man.
And Susie, now it is the Denver receivers that have to make the big plays. They start from the 32. 3-man rush. Plummer. Look at Jake go, and he slides in near midfield.
You don't have to be in a hurry, Jake. If you're going to have to be in a hurry, take a timeout.
It's a gain of 16. Plenty of time on the clock and all of their timeouts left. Three-man rush again underneath to Smith. Smith has a first down and more.
Now they have to be careful that they don't get down there too quick.
They took a timeout, the Denver Broncos did.
Plummer, in a rather brief 8-year career, has had 24 game-winning drives in the fourth quarter, the most of any quarterback since 1997. And boy, that was a nice play to Rod Smith, and he ran well to get that first down. Keep in mind, Jason Elam, one of the best overall kickers and one of the best long-range kickers ever in pro football.
Plus, the problem you have with Jake is containing the run. Now, if he can get into position, Jason Elam can kick it 55 yards. Now, this is in pregame, and the conditions actually are a little bit better right now than they were before.
Sometimes it's tough to tell where they are right now, about the 37-yard line.
Sometimes. All night long, I haven't figured out where they've been.
It's a numberless field. Just got lines on it.
Well, sometimes they get rid of a little patch of snow that reveals a number somewhere.
Looks a little bit like that game they used to play called hockey many years ago.
Droughns will go in motion. Here comes the blitz. Plummer unloads. Triandus Luke, a rookie wide receiver out of Alabama.
Well, that time the Raiders did come with a blitz. Charles Woodson came, and they sent a linebacker, but they never got close to Jake.
Another blitz. Plummer throws underneath, and that's knocked away from the tight end Putzier and stops the clock with 45 seconds to go.
That was Ray Buchanan. And that time the Raiders loaded up in the middle of the line, and they just sent about 7 people. And that's what I would do. I'd keep doing it. I don't know why. You said it before. Why they let them go down the middle of the field with a 3-man rush, I'll never know.
Well, Jake makes a nice run on the one, but I don't think you can just allow him to sit back there and allow the receivers to run free. You've got to come with pressure.
They're at the Oakland 26-yard line. Droughns gets to the 24, and that's it. Warren Sapp on the stop.
We saw the problem that Micah Noor had on one of the holds that they kicked before. Jason Elam basically kicked the ball through, laying flat on the ground. Jake Plummer continues to be very composed in what he wants to do. I guess you could call him the fourth quarter comeback kid. This drive, he's doing it with his legs. Now he steps up inside, knows how far he wants to get, hits the ground. Now he does it with his feet. Rod Smith with the big pickup. And they continue to move down. Now Jake again gets rid of it quick to Triandus Luke. Whether they come after him, whether they let him sit back in the pocket, he's been able to come up with the plays he's needed.
Right now they're at the 25-yard line. The one thing you're looking at they can't afford is to take a sack and take them out of field goal range.
It's a 42-yard field goal right now. 42-43. The thing is that, they're going to come after him. I got to believe that the Raiders are going to send at least 7 people. Go. You got nothing to lose.
Droughns goes to a wing. 4-man rush. Plummer for the corner. It looked like Watts had a shot and it went through his hands.
Well, Philip Buchanan absolutely misjudged the ball.
He got turned around. Watch Jake throw this. Darius Watts is in the end zone, number 17. Philip Buchanan, number 31. It goes right through his hands.
The rookie was open in the corner of the end zone, and now it's up to Elam. His only misses this year are from 49 and 51 yards.
Well, the Denver Broncos the clock had stopped, but they took their final timeout. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raiders just turn around and do the same thing and ice them.
And there are so many variables on this kick. You've got the field condition. Right. You've got Elam. Can he plant his foot solid enough? Can Micah Noor get the ball down so that it's standing up so that he can get the distance on it?
Now you see everybody out here clearing a patch for the kicker. They can't bring anyone from the sideline out with a shovel or any other implement to clear it out. But you can use either your hand or your foot.
The other thing you have to consider if you're the Oakland Raiders is that this kick's going to come out low. So the thing you've got to do is you've got to get as big a push. This is where you put the big guys in the middle. You put Warren Sapp in the middle. You put Ted Washington in the middle. And you get as big a push as you can and let somebody tall get up and try and knock it back.
Elam is 18 out of 20. He's already hit from 32. This to take the lead from 42.
You can't use anybody to get in the air.
It blocked it.
I think it was Warren Sapp. It wasn't Warren. It was Langston Walker. A guy who lost his right tackle job to Robert Gallery comes up with a huge block. Big push up the middle.
I'll tell you what, just exactly what you were talking about, Joe. Look at the push and then get up in the air. Langston Walker, number 66, he went straight up, what you had to do. Everything you said was absolutely perfect. It's going to come out low. You got to get your arms up. It's over.
6'8". 6'8", 345. Kerry Collins, yes.
And if he'd been 6'7", he couldn't have stopped it.
That extra inch doesn't hurt. You knew it had to come out that way.
What a huge, huge play for the Oakland Raiders to preserve a 1-point lead. And they come into Denver against a bitter rival. And they have stunned the Denver Broncos. And how much this will affect the Broncos' chances of making the playoffs remains to be seen. They have a huge game next week against San Diego.
They'll have their chance. At least San Diego is sitting there waiting on them.
What a ball game. The final score 25-24 Raiders. Stay tuned for SportsCenter. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Culver, and our entire ESPN crew. This is Mike Patrick. Good night from Invesco Field at Mile High in Denver. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
The NFC East race officially over. What the Eagles now have in common with the 85 Bears, and T.O. on why he thinks the media is always out to get him. And would Joe Gibbs consider